Good morning. Well, today I'm going to keep this a bit shorter because I did rewatch what I'd done yesterday, and God, I did go on. So today we're going to talk about periods because a few people have asked me to talk about periods and how it affects us when we're a bit getting on a bit in later life. So I basically didn't start my periods till I was about 16. So that's late. And I do know a lot of people, I think, including my own mother, started when they're about 9. I'm just going to warn everyone now, if you don't like talking about periods, blood and goo and whatever, or if you're a bloke that really doesn't like it, then I'd go make a coffee or something. But yeah, periods, they affect us so badly, I think, as you get older. I don't know about everyone else, but I do know a lot of people are suffering really badly, mainly with the way it makes them feel, hormonal, and even just the flow of the periods. I mean, I've always suffered really badly to the extent my mum used to write a letter to get me out of class. But I mean, they're absolutely, they can vary so much. I've got friends that are only on for a couple of days. I'm on for 10 days. 10 days a shot, and we're talking, I have to go to bed wrapped up like a mummy to get through the night. And it's awful. But after a friend of mine told me about menstrual cups. Now, for anyone that does suffer heavily with periods, these menstrual cups that you can buy online, or Boots sell them or whatever, they are brilliant, and they absolutely hold quite a bit of ting, and you haven't got to worry about leaking. You haven't got to worry about smells. You haven't got to worry about not being able to go and do stuff like swimming. They're really, really good. If you can just get over the fact that, you have to pinch them, put them inside and sort of let them do their thing. And that's how you do it, basically. It's like a plastic cup. I'm not rich enough yet to start getting things. And obviously, well, I'll have to get one to show you. But you literally, it looks like an egg cup, apart from without the bottom part on it. And you literally just squeeze it. There's like a rim at the top. You insert it, so you do have to stick your fingers in a little bit, and then you let it go. And it sort of holds in place, really. And they are honestly fantastic. And then you get them out the same way. You sort of just pull the thing, and it comes out. So if you are worried about leaking or anything like that, being paranoid about going to work, and I don't know about you, but when I used to be on, I used to be really paranoid about people coming near me, because I used to think, God, I wonder if if you can smell it, you think, God, I wonder if anyone else can smell it. And it's not a nice thing, is it, to go through, especially if you have got, really bad periods. The other thing is the way it makes you feel. Now, I've had friends that you had to leave the house when they were on their periods. It was that bad. You didn't dare even boo to them, because it was just not worth it. You would have lost your life. And on the other hand, you've got people that you can't even tell. Now, I'd like to think that I'm not a cow, but I've been told that I am a bit of a cow before a period. And I suppose I could be, but you can't help how you feel, can you? It's one of those things that you're a bitch, and then 10 minutes later you think, oh, I didn't really mean to be a bitch. But, it is hormones, and hormones do make you feel absolutely crap. So I don't really think, apart from I've been told that if you have chocolate, which we all love, but if you have pure chocolate, as in this bitter stuff, on the days that you really feel shitty, Apparently the serotonin, natural serotonin in that chocolate that affects your mood swings, that can uplift you enough to get through the day without feeling shitty. So I'd say that's a pretty good thing to try. Um, the other things is obviously the drained, and I can't. I don't know about you, but I can't. I find it really hard, especially leading up to the period of sleeping. It's just it's just terrible. But again, I find if you have a couple of paracetamol, now we're not talking about getting hooked on paracetamol, but if you use paracetamol in those few days, they can help you get to sleep a bit. I'm not going to say thinking because my sleeping pattern is horrendous. To say that I was used to be a really good sleeper, I am now the crappiest sleeper ever. And half of that is to do with my bladder, but that's another bloody story. And I find a lot of Tampax really uncomfortable to wear. I'm not wearing pads because, I've got nothing to wrap the flat bits around. And, when I have a period, it honestly feels, I don't know how this would feel because it's never happened to me, but it feels like a gorilla is pulling down on my flaps. Like that pulling feeling, like something's hanging off them. And it's like a real pull down, horrible feeling. And then you contend with after I have a couple of like really heavy days where I feel like my insides are coming out. You then get to the stage where your fanny's sort of drying up a bit, and you're trying to get a Tampax in. And I'm telling you, there's some skill to this. There's some skill to getting a Tampax in when you're half dry. And obviously when you've pulled one out because it's sticking out a bit, and then you're trying to get another one to go in, you're having, I've used a wooden spoon before to try and push it up because it just, sometimes it just won't go up. And you need it to go up. And then if you stand up off the toilet and it isn't in the right place, my God, you feel it, don't you? It is just like, it's not a good feeling. Again, it's not a good feeling. So there's so many, and I get pissed off. I don't know about you, but I get proper pissed off at the fact you have to pay for these bloody things. I mean, if we didn't have periods, then there would be no kids. If we had no kids, there'd be nothing going on in the world. And it's just, you can get free bloody condoms for having a shag. And it's your choice to have a shag or not. But periods, you're not even got a choice whether some blood comes out your fanny or not. And you got to bloody pay for the privilege of having a shitty period. And they're not that cheap. Well, the ones I use aren't that cheap because I can't use the cardboard ones because when you push it in your minge, the cardboard one, I find that sometimes I can't grab hold of the applicator, sliding in my fingers. And then you sort of think it's in and you look and there's still sat there in the applicator. And you think, bloody hell, all that pushing and thingying up there. And it ain't even got in. So you do get, what are those ones called that I like? Pearl ones, Tampax Pearls, which are the plastic version. Now they do a sort of, as you're pulling it out, they do a which clicks into place, and then you can push it in, and you get a good push on it. Because depending on how periody you are, you don't know if how that's going to go up or down, do you? In or out or whatever. And I will say on air that my hole has been described quite well, probably the only small thing on my body. So I do suffer with trying to get something in. Then other times, can feel like wizard slave or whatever. But yeah, there are so many different things. But I would recommend for the whole feeling, it's serotonin. So that if you can imagine in your brain, It's like one of those, you know what workmen use, and they've got a bubble in the middle and it levels off. Well, during the time of the month or pre time of the month, that sort of bubble level thing goes, oh, look at that now. It goes off the Richter a bit. So it sort of goes down so it's not level, and that makes you feel a bit, you know, so the natural serotonin, which is what makes that thing level in your brain, that's found in chocolate, but it's sort of a potent level of it. You have to eat a hell of a lot of plain chocolate, which, I mean, you know, normal chocolate, which is not always a bad thing, but it is if you're not eating that type of stuff. But if you have a few squares of the, if you can eat it, of the bitter cocoa, high cocoa content, you will find that it really does help with those times of the month. And again, if you're suffering from heavy periods, or you're suffering with the fact that you're finding them hard to insert, or the fact that you, when you go to bed, you've got, like I said, wrap yourself up like a mummy, I would recommend those caps. Menstrual caps on the internet, Amazon, anywhere, menstrual caps, and it will change your life, I swear. So, um, I'm gonna stop now because I can. There is only so much you can talk about with periods. Um, but the other thing is, don't wear white trousers in periods. But we all know that. And yeah, that's about it with periods. And I hope if that might have helped anyone, someone. But the review on those caps is brilliant. So, and I'm not getting sponsored. It's just a general thing. So, got any questions? Leave it down there. Please subscribe. You have to press the arrow, red arrow thing, and I will see you tomorrow with another subject from Renee. Have a lovely day.